Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is indeed an excellent day to serve an excellent God in and with the spirit of excellence. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Good midnight. Whatever your case may be. I'm just happy, glad that you thought it not robbery to come on in this space. Good morning, Coach Sherry Chaplain. Oh my God, Coach Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry, Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue, the unmuted one. I help women in particularly speak up for themselves, for their God, for their people. And when women are speaking up, women speak up for everybody, which means that everybody has an opportunity to be liberated. Good morning. Good morning, Tim. So glad to see you, nephew, today. So glad to see you today. Before we get started, as you can see, I'm in a different space and I started with my makeup already. And I'm going to complete it, but I wanted to make sure that I get to do and talk about all the things that I need to talk about. So I really got a head start. Good morning. As you are coming into this sacred space, my prayer is that you like, share, and tag. Like, share, and tag. It is indeed a free space. It doesn't cost you anything to be in this space, except just taking a moment to like, share, and tag. And of course, if you want to pour into this ministry, this is not a requirement at all. But if you want to pour into this ministry and to help me to do what I am doing, then you can certainly do that by using one of the electronic means that you see flowing on the ticker. So good morning. As you are coming in, I do want to make sure that I talk about, and I'm going to be announcing this throughout the next couple of days and weeks until we get there. I know it's Thanksgiving time, and before you know it, it's going to be Christmas. But I want to stop us just a few minutes before we get too caught up in the frenzy. Yeah, in the frenzy of um of Christmas and all of those things. I want to stop us a few minutes and help us to slow down to get to Christmas Day and the Christmas season, because um, even though we say that it's the Christmas season technically does not start until Christmas Day. But before that, it's Advent. It is the anticipation, it is the awaiting of a promise in the midst of darkness, And so I always like to mark Advent because it slows me down and allows me to be in control of the season and not allow the season to control me. And so I want to invite you to take notice of the we will begin a 4-week journey, Advent 2025, Jesus born into a world like ours. Jesus born into a world like ours. And what you're going to have to do is register. It won't be on Facebook. We're going to do it in a private Zoom session, a private Zoom session. And so you can see I have placed the link in the chat. You must register. You must register. It is free. It is indeed free. You must register, but I want to make sure that you can be a part of this. And the reason why I am doing it in a private session is because we're going to be talking about some things. Jesus born into a world like ours. Here are some of the topics, and I'm going to have conversation partners with me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Pastor, prophetess, apostle, all of those things. Good morning, my friend Dakiba. I think that I may be saying that right. Good morning. So glad that you're here. Marquita, I see you. I'm so glad that you're here. I have been missing you, and I want you to message me your telephone number. I want to make sure that you are aware of something that we are doing for our class. Our 60th birthday, where we want to end it with a bang for everybody. But during Advent, this weekly 4-week journey, Advent begins. It's the first Sunday after Thanksgiving, and so what we're going to do is meet on Wednesday, Tuesday nights, December 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd. And what we're going to talk about is Jesus born into a world like ours. What were the conditions? What kind of world did Jesus enter? And through this 4 weeks, we want to suggest, I want to push, I'm going to argue that first century Palestine was just like 21st century America and the world in which we are living in. So week 1, when empire rules the land. Week 2, occupied but not overcome. Week 3, a refuge God. And week 4, a light in the shadow of empire. So I want to make sure that you register and you are a part of this, and make sure that you do it soon, right? I want you to participate, but I also want to do it in a safe environment. So please make sure that you join us there. And again, it is in the comment section. Make sure that you go ahead on and register. So that's all of that. And I want us to get to what we're talking about today. But I thought it was important that I wanted to make sure that you are doing what you need to do to get there. So again, good morning, Coach Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue, the unmuted one. So today, as it is the weekend, and I always want to make sure that we have tools for resting. We have tools for resting because oftentimes, to our own detriment, we don't take opportunities to stop because the world tells us that we are only good, if we are constantly moving. If we are constantly moving, that our worth is tied to our performance. And what I want to suggest to us today is that Stopping, resting is not laziness, it is liberation. And if you are a follower of Jesus, your whole goal is to not only be liberated yourself, because we don't want privilege, right? We want liberation for ourselves and for other people. And so in order for us to even live in our purpose, in order for us to do what God has called us to do, we have to have a mindset shift to say that we can stop. Because many times we are grinding and grinding and grinding, and I understand that some of it is to just to make it through the day, to be able to do the things that we need to do financially. But sometimes many things that we do in the home, in community, and in church is unnecessary stuff that keeps us too busy. And so we want to live into the freedom and the liberation that comes through Jesus Christ. So I'm going back again to a familiar text. Psalm 46:10. Listen, I need y'all to like, share, and tag. Bring somebody else in. Let's get this number in. I know there are a lot of competing factors, but if you go ahead on and share it, whenever people have opportunity throughout the day, they will come and they will see what goodness you have that you wanted to share with other people. So Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. Right away, we see that the psalmist is giving us a command. Be still. And I often wonder why God, even through the commandment, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Why is this a command? Because God knows and God knew that we would get caught up in this grind and we wouldn't have sense enough to stop on our own. So God commands us to stop. Not that the work is done, not that the work is completed, but wherever you are saying, yes, I know I have some other stuff to do, but I'm going to do a full stop right here and I'm going to pick it up when I have finished regrouping, resettling, rejuvenating, and restoring self. So I want us to know that Psalm 46 is not written from a peaceful setting. The psalmist is not in a peaceful setting. It's born out of turmoil. The psalmist says in verses 2 and 3 that the nations are raging, that the mountains are trembling, and the waters are roaring. It's a whole lot going on. It's a whole lot of going on. There is chaos everywhere. And yet, right in the middle of that chaos, right in the middle of the chaos, the command is be still. But God, don't you know that the world is filled with chaos? Don't you know that I have all of these things to do? Don't you know that these bills are still coming? Don't you know that the government is shut down? Don't you know that the SNAP benefits? And God says through this psalmist, yep. Good morning, Miss Constance. Be still. This isn't a soft whisper for a quiet meditation. It's a radical interruption. Imagine the scene. The mountains are roaring. The nations are raging, and the waters are in turmoil, and yet the psalmist has the unmitigated goal to say, be still. God speaks in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the noise, and says, stop striving, stop fighting, stop trying to control what only I can control, what only I can calm. Be still. How is that hitting you this morning, and you know all of the things that you have going on? And some of it going on at the same time. If it ain't one thing, it's another. And God says, be still. Be still. It's not being passive, but it's being present. It's a divine pause that says, if you don't have to hold the whole world together, you don't have to hold the whole world together because you are not G-O-D, I am. You don't have to hold the whole world together. The whole world is not in your hand. And I know that it seems like the weight of the world is on you, because let me tell you, God says you don't have to hold the whole world in your hand. I already got that. I already have it. So what does this be still mean? So in the Hebrew, the word translated as be still is Rapha. R-A-P-H-A-H. Good morning, Miss Margaret Brown. R-A-P-H-A-H. It means to let go, to loosen your grip, to release. To loosen your grip, to let go, and to release. It means to let your hands fall. So if you've ever gone to get a manicure, or they are withdrawing blood, you will hear at times, relax yourself. And the nail tech will do something like this, relax yourself, because you're all tense. And when you're tense, they can't do their work. Or when you got your fist so tight, and you and the phlebotomist would say, let go. Relax yourself. Why are you letting go? So they can do the work. And so God says, let your hands go. Loosen your grip. Stop trying to fix everything. And through my womanist lens, especially for Black women who have been taught to socialize and have been socialized to hold everyone and everything together, this word is both a command and a comfort. It says, you are not God. You don't have the whole world in your hands. You are not holding the whole world up. If you let your hands down, if you relax, if you let go of the grip, the world is not going to collapse. Why? Here's the comfort. I got this. You can rest. Be still is not laziness. Can I get you to shout that out in the comment section? It is rest is not laziness. It is holy. Why? Because what we're doing is we are trusting the universe won't collapse if we stop carrying what isn't ours. So being still or stillness is not the absence of movement. It's being present. It's mindfulness, it's peace, it's trust that the one who does have the whole world, the one who is holding up the world, is doing it. And it is not going to collapse. So you are, thank you, Miss Constant. You're being still is not passive. Your participation is being present. Your participation is trusting that the one who holds the world will not allow it to collapse. So here's how we can embody this idea of stillness. Number one, release control. Release control. Let go of the need to fix, to explain, or justify. Every problem is not yours to solve. I need you to say it real loud, I just need you to scream so I can hear it this morning. That's not mine to carry. I understand it's a problem, but it's not mine to carry. Scream it real loud. That's not mine to carry. So you release control, and then you reclaim this idea that rest is holy. It can look like silence, sleep, solitude, or Sabbath. Stillness can look like silence, sleep, solitude, or Sabbath. And I always have to say this, when I say the word Sabbath, I am not talking about being in church all day, every day, all day Sunday. Because the truth be told, if we are going to 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, afternoon programs, night programs, and especially if you participate in some type of ministry, you're tired when you get home. And then when the work resumes on Monday, you have nothing to give. Why? Because you did it all on Sunday. And it ain't doing it for the Lord. It ain't doing it for the Lord. Can I tell you again? It ain't doing it for the Lord, because God is not requiring all of that. God says, be still. Sabbath is stopping and understanding the rhythm of life, understanding the rhythm of your body, understanding the rhythm of your spirit and of your mind. Is choosing to pause even when your to-do list is not completed. So being still is releasing control, rest, understanding that, and reclaiming rest as holy. And then to return to breathe. Return to breathe. In moments of stress, inhale deeply. And on exhale, and no. Inhale, be still, exhale, and no. Be still, exhale, and no. And repeat this until you believe it and your spirit knows it. And root yourself in God's presence. I know there's some radical stuff. It's counterculture because we been told that being still is lazy, that idle hands is a devil's workshop. But it's a lie and it's dangerous. That if we stop moving, we'll fall behind, we'll be forgotten, we'll lose control, that the world will collapse. But God is saying, be still. You are not the mule of the world. You are a miracle in it. You are allowed to exhale. You can rest. And the world will keep moving. You can rest. And the world will keep moving. So here's our question for today. And it's going to take us difficult. What makes it difficult for you to be still? And what would it look like for you to release control? What would it look like if you release control? Here's our closing prayer. Here's our closing prayer. God of stillness and strength, teach us to loosen our grip and to know when doing so, the world is not going to collapse. We know that because the one who holds the whole world, we can trust. Amen and Ashe. Listen, y'all have a great weekend, and like, share, and tag, because I think that we dropped some good jewels. And please be sure to go back and to register for Advent 2025. If you missed it here, it's going to be all up and down my page. Bye-bye.